Hey guys, Camping Hack number 0 here, and today we are with our MSR Whisperlite Universal Stove once again. And as I promised you in the last video, today we will be talking about burning alcohol. Stay tuned. Okay guys, in my last video I had mentioned how I had lost my footage of burning the grain alcohol in the Whisperlite Universal Stove. So today, as promised, we're going to burn some alcohol in this stove. I'm going to burn grain alcohol, 70% rubbing alcohol, and 91% rubbing alcohol. The 91 is factory sealed and the grain alcohol is factory sealed. This was a bottle that I had left over here at the house. It's not sealed, so you'll just have to trust me that when I say that this is 70% in the bottle, it really is 70% in the bottle. Alright, so if you remember in our last video, we talked about how we took our MSR jet for our Whisperlite stove. We took our UK jet and we modified that by drilling it out with a 1/32 bit. There we go. I got the 1/32 bit, drilled out the UK jet, and modified our UK jet so that we could burn alcohol. So I'm just going to use this opportunity right now and put the UK jet in the stove and get the stove prepped up for a burn. So here's our shaker needle valve. We'll screw that in. Oh yeah, you can hear that little rascal rattling around in there, cleaning out the jet. Tighten it down some. Just a bit. There we go. Put our stove together. Of course it's going to give me a little bit of fits. There we go. This is a lot simpler than I just made that look. I don't know, I struggled there for a second. Put on our priming wick. Put on our priming cup, they call it. There you go. Now our stove is prepped and ready. And we will pause. Okay guys, sorry for that interruption. Like I said, we've got our stove put together and prepped. Now we just need to fill up our fuel bottle. I think for the first video here, or for the first segment, we're going to start off with the 91 proof rubbing alcohol, and we'll just see where it goes. I know one thing, it will burn. And I've got some water set up. We're going to do a little boil test, see how long it takes to get 2 cups of water to a boil. So here we go. Here's our 91% rubbing alcohol. That should be more than enough. Set that aside. I don't need that. Pump in. Now I'm going to pump this up probably about 25 times. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to wet the end of our inlet valve there. with a little spit. Alright, we are pretty much set up and ready to go. Now we're going to open the valve on our pump, put a little of that 91% rubbing alcohol in the cup, and prime the cup. There we go. Alright, we got a little rubbing alcohol in our primer cup. It's priming, getting that generator tube hot. Okay, let's open the valve and see if we can get some kind of a flame to come out of our burner there. Wait a second. Alright. It's still priming, I guess. Dying off some. Open the valve. Now, if you remember in my last video, we had a good amount of spitting. You have your when you do that, the valve is, when that happens, the valve is open too big, and it's not getting converted to a gas. I'm gonna shut this valve down some. See if we can get a nice, even, pretty flame. That might be a little too low. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it about right there. See what happens here. So yeah, we are burning 91% rubbing alcohol in our Whisperlite universal stove with that modified UK jet. So you see the flame. I'm going to turn the light back on. I have 2 cups of water in this pan and a temperature probe to let us know when it gets to 212, when it gets to boiling. And we're going to see how quick it'll boil 2 cups of water. I've got a little timer here on my phone. And let's see what happens here. Setting it on and starting the timer, and we will just see how long it takes to boil 2 cups of water with 91% rubbing alcohol. I've got the little temperature guy here with a probe inside that pot. And this video will be long and boring for a moment, but I'll edit the dead stuff out, and I'll let you know when we get to 212. Stay tuned. Alright guys, we're getting close now. 210. 210 degrees. 212 at 6:21. 212 at 6 minutes and 21 seconds. I'm going to shut this off. So there you go. We boiled water in 6 minutes and 21 seconds with the 91 proof rubbing alcohol. Not bad, not great. I mean, we're just proving that you can burn alcohol in your Whisperlite Universal. We're just proving that, first of all. And second of all, just as a secondary experiment, we're just seeing how long it takes to boil 2 cups of water. Alright, I'm going to get this to cool down, and then I'll try another fuel. Stand by. Okay guys, we just got done burning the 91% rubbing alcohol, and you saw it light up. Ran through the stove fine through our modified UK jet. Now we're going to try grain alcohol. This kind here is called Gem Clear Grain Alcohol, 190 proof. We'll try this one next, but first we need to get our 91% rubbing alcohol out of the bottle and swap it out with the grain alcohol. So take our fuel line off. There we go. We'll depressurize our bottle slowly. There we go. Get rid of our rubbing alcohol. Give all this a shake. Get that 91% out of the way. And now we'll try this 190 proof stuff. There we go. All I did was shake out the bottle. I didn't, wash it or clean it out or any kind of fancy clean out. I just dumped it in that Pyrex cup, gave the bottle a shake. Now we're going to dump in the grain alcohol. Here we go. Just as an interesting side note, I don't know why anyone would want to use grain alcohol. Yeah, you can drink it. That's fine. But, for the money, this is probably the most expensive fuel. I think this this little pint here cost me like $10. Too high, too much money, in my opinion. Alright. Get our pump in there. Get that all tightened down. Now I'm going to give this about 25 pumps again. Alright. Oh yeah. Alright, we're all put together. The only thing we did was swap out fuel sources. Now I'm going to open the valve, spray a little grain alcohol into that priming cup. There we go, that's probably good. Close the valve. Light the priming cup. I'm going to kill the lights and we're going to try to get this stove, this Whisperlite Universal stove, fired up and generating on grain alcohol now. kind of a yellow flame. You know, when I think of a yellow flame, I think of a potentially dirty flame, I guess you would call it. But it's still just alcohol nonetheless. The old Gem Clear, 190 proof. Alright, it's dying down. I'm going to open the valve some. See what we get. Opened it a little too much. Shut it down some. See if that'll kind of stabilize a bit. It looks halfway stable to me. I'm going to open the valve a bit more and see if we can get a little bit more output out of it. See that? It's starting to spit. When it spits, that's too much. Got to turn it down some. I'm going to turn it down. Alright, it looks like that's just about the maximum flame we're going to get out of the grain alcohol before it starts spitting. You know, when it spits, I think, I'm no engineer or anything like that, I think when it spits that is liquid fuel that's coming through the generator tube that hasn't been gasified, it hasn't been turned into a vapor. So when it spits, I just turn it back down and until it quits spitting, and try to get the maximum flame out of it that I can get. So there you go. That looks like, yeah, that looks like just about the best flame we're going to get out of the grain alcohol. So we got the stove up, it's running. I got some more water prepped. We're going to do a quick boil test on this. Let me get the lights back on. Okay guys, our temperature there says that this water is starting off at 77 degrees Fahrenheit. That last test, I think the water was starting off at 79 degrees Fahrenheit. So there we go. We're going to put on our water, see how long it takes to boil 2 cups of water. Here we go. And we're off. Incidentally, this is the MSR 1.1 liter Alpine stowaway pot that we have, stainless steel. I have another video you might want to check out. Some people have expressed a concern how there's no graduation marks inside that stowaway pot, that 1.1 liter pot. It comes with no graduation marks, and I did a video on how you can put your own graduation marks in there. They'll be permanent, and you won't have to worry about cooking off the marks or anything like that. It doesn't involve paint or ink. You can put some permanent marks inside your pot so you know where 1 cup, 2 cup, 3 cups, and 4 cups fall. Alright, let's see. So we're a minute in and we're at 95 degrees. You know, I'll edit out all this boring part and I'll come back to you when we get close to 212 degrees, you know, a rolling boil. Stay tuned. Alright guys, we're starting to get close here. 210 degrees Fahrenheit. 212 at 6:20. 6 minutes and 20 seconds. What is that, like a second faster than the other one. 6 minutes 20 seconds for 2 cups of water in the 190 proof grain alcohol. Alright, so there you go. I'm going to shut the stove off. I'm going to let all this stuff cool down, and then we will get set up for the next test. So stand by. Alright guys, I'm back, and the next test is going to involve the 70% rubbing alcohol. We'll do that one next, but first let's get the grain alcohol out of our bottle. So we'll unhook it. There we go. Depressurize our bottle. Just turn that nice and slow. Let the pressure bleed off. And you'll get some come out around the top. Who cares? Dump out our grain alcohol. Give this all a shake. Get the grain alcohol out of the way. There we go. Alright, now this next test, like I said, it's going to involve the 70% rubbing alcohol. It's not a full bottle. This isn't factory sealed. You all just have to take my word for it that this truly is 70% rubbing alcohol. And I don't know what else to say besides it is what it is. So let's dump it in. There we go. Put our pump back in. Is this scientific? No. I'm going to give this about 25 pumps. There we go, about 25 pumps. Connect it. Lock it down. Alright. So we've got the 70% in there. We're pumped up. Let's prime our cup. Open the valve a bit. There we go. Our cup is primed. We'll light it and see if we can get this stove to touch off. I'm going to kill the lights. Kind of looks like to me that the rubbing alcohol doesn't have as much of a yellow flame on it as the grain alcohol did. Hopefully it's getting that generator tube hot. Let's open it up. There we go. The old 70% rubbing alcohol, right now it's not spitting. Let's see if we can open it up a bit more. There it goes. It's starting to spit. Need to turn it back down some. Turn it down. Okay, guys. I don't know. To me, that looks like that's just about the best maximum flame we can get out of the 70%. We'll let this get stabilized for just a few seconds. Okay, there we go. I think it's stabilized pretty good. I'm going to turn the lights back on and we're going to boil some water. Alright, so we got our 2 cups of water in our pot again. If you can see the temperature probe, it looks like our water is starting off at 77 degrees. Let's just put it on and see what happens. There we go, start it up. Alright guys, it's been on about 37 seconds or so and we're at 100 degrees. We're just going to let it cook and see how long it takes. Okay guys, we're getting close here. 205 degrees Fahrenheit. .212 at 4 minutes 46 seconds. I can't believe it. I had no idea. 4 minutes 46 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. Okay, so, you know, I have no explanation whatsoever on that. The 70% alcohol was the fastest by far. So, there you go. You know, I don't know what to say. It's really surprising to me that the 70% got it up to boil faster. I don't know. Alright guys, I'm going to let all this cool down and then I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back. Got everything cooled down here. Alright, so what have we learned today? Well, the first thing we learned is yes, you can burn alcohol-based fuels in your MSR Whisperlite universal stove. It is possible. You can do it. We burned the 91 proof rubbing alcohol, the grain alcohol, and the 70% rubbing alcohol. We burned them all through. It did work. They primed fine. They got a nice flame on all of them. It wasn't a rip-roaring flame, but we did get a flame nonetheless. The surprise was that the 70% boiled the 2 cups of water faster than the other 2 fuels. I would have thought, number one, that this would have been the fastest, but it wasn't. I'll try again some other day and just confirm these results. But for now, as we sit here right now, the 70%, you know, cooked it the fastest. That really surprised me. I have no explanation whatsoever on that. All right, now, I also wanted to mention that, you know, we've modified this stove. We have burnt fuels through that stove that stove wasn't intended to burn. Should you do this? No, you shouldn't do this. Is it dangerous? Yes, it is dangerous. Could you hurt yourself? Yes, it could cause a serious injury. Use your best judgment on deciding whether you want to modify your stove to burn the alcohol-based fuels. It's a risk that you're just going to have to decide if it's for you. You will definitely, without a doubt, for certain, void your warranty on your stove. You know, and if you do this mod, you may be buying a new jet when you drill it out. You might mess up. You might have to buy an entirely new stove. So decide for yourself whether you want to do this modification. Is it worth the risk? All I can say is, you know, I've done what I've done here. I've showed you what I've done. And you saw the results for yourself. I'm going to burn alcohol fuel through my stove, and you know, I don't expect MSR to honor any kind of warranty or anything like that. And I'm fine with that. You'll just have to decide for yourself if you're fine with it yourself. All right, guys, this is Camping Hack number 0 signing off, and hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see y'all in the next one. Have a good day.